Right, my ducks, it's Simon. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Oh, I've just got in from work, made myself a cup of coffee and a package has arrived, which is, as you can see from the decoration, it is a Christmas gift from a subscriber. I'm not going to mention his full name, but I'll say Angelo. And he's in the Hermit's Cave, the Facebook group, the Hermit's Cave, and also been a subscriber to the channel for quite a while. And he contacted me to say that he and a friend had been working on a deck, an RWS deck. Oh, it's upside down. Oh, look at this. And he wanted to send me a couple of things, but also include, I think there's two versions of this deck. I think there's one that's a little bit larger, kind of different lamination, but this is a beautiful, beautiful box. From my heart to yours, how lovely is this? I'm going to keep this, obviously, because it's such a beautiful box. And I did compile some notes from our conversations that we had on Messenger. So Angelo is a classical pianist, actually, but during the COVID lockdowns, studied tarot. So he's quite new to tarot. He said, you know, I recently discovered tarot. And by recently, I mean that during the lockdown periods, you know, he kind of went back to the type of spiritual exploration that he had done years ago and discovered tarot. And so he studied tarot at a school in New York, which I just thought was wonderful that there was even such a thing. I think it's an amazing thing to do. And he says this deck was created with a friend of his called Christos, who is an architect and studied 10 years in London. And then he goes on to say that it's totally his style and imagination, and it's actually our first try to do a simple yet different deck. So from what I understand, it's an RWS variation, but I've not seen any images at all. And he says, I say we because we've been friends since school and sometimes partners in business over many years. Eventually the deck will go onto Etsy, but it's on his own website at the moment, which is arma.cards. That's Arma, A-R-M-A. I will put a link in the description below. He said the deck is more for beginners, and then he goes on to say that he sent the package, he's put some little goodies inside and a note, but he was in a rush, so he got to add some things that he wanted to say. So that's more about the design of the cards, but also what's in the box. This is, I mean, look at that. Such a nice, strong, sturdy box. So this is the note. So I'll have a look at what Angelo has written. He says, Dear Simon, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. So this has taken a while to come. It's come from Athens. I send you 2 decks produced by Arma. Not final, but at least playable. So it's not a finished product. Would love to know how you find them, if you find them accurate. Also, I include 2 witchy hat key holders for decoration. And then he talks about the first deck is slightly bigger than a normal size, which I love. Also, the backs might change for the final editions, but not so much. The second deck is a vintage edition of Arma, which I was trying to read handwriting here. I'm never great at handwriting. Would like to know how you find it, I think. how it works. I hope you enjoy these little goodies. Love, Angelo. So that's really sweet. So if you watch this back, Angelo, thank you. Oh, look. So this is the paper. I like this. I might have to keep stuff like this. This reminds me of the, it's called crate paper that you used to have at school when you were doing arts and crafts. I haven't seen it for years. But yeah, it's really cool. So, okay, so these are the little witchy hats. Look at these. These are so much fun. Let me bring it up to the camera so you can see it. Look at that. So it looks like it's crochet. There's a little bell and a feather. And then we've got this little dangly with the crystals. So yeah, that's fun. I like that. And then there's another one here. Oh, I like the combination there of the blue, black and the orange feather. That's gorgeous. And the little heart there, crystal heart, and the bell. And again, we've got the dangly there, so you can hang them. I love them, they're really cool. And then we've got these pouches, wow. So nice little pouch. It's got like, on the inside, this is like a faux suede, almost like a skin. And then this is like a shiny lame. That's really nice. Pop that there. And then there's another one here with red. So it'd be great to put these decks into. Again, same kind of like this suede effect, which is lovely. And then we have the decks. Oh, they're already in pouches. We've got a little silica here. So they're already in pouches. Look at these pouches. Wow. The sparkles aren't showing up as much on camera, but these are very glittery. I don't know what kind of material this is, but it's very thick and durable. It's gorgeous. Wow. And then this one, this feels like more the standard tarot size. And this one has this little clasp here, a bobble. So let's have a look at the cards. Oh, nice. Oh, they've got a gorgeous sound to them. I like this. So this is the vintage one. These are the backs, which are pretty cool. Trying to make sure I don't get too much light on them so you can see them properly. Really cool. This is nice cardstock as well. They've got this lovely feel to them. So I'll pop them there, and then we'll have a look at this one, which is done to be slightly bigger than the standard tarot size. So this, he says, he's changed some of the coloration, as you can see. So let's look at the, oh, these are the backs. I like that too. So we've got that same design. It's almost like the Ouroboros, but not quite catching its own tail. But you can see the size difference. So they're not a huge, you know, they're not huge cards. They're not jumbo playing cards or anything like that, but they are a nice size. Okay, so I'm going to bring the camera down and we'll have a look at these side by side. I think would be the best way to do it. Okay, so I'm just reading through the notes as well. So he says the first deck, besides the back of the cards with the Arma sign. So this design here is their company sign for Arma, ARMA. And he said it's slightly larger than the standard tarot, which we mentioned, plus it has lamination on the cards. Now the lamination on these cards is beautiful. One of the nicest laminations I've ever felt. It is so soft and smooth, and it's not glossy, as you can see. This is directly under a light, and it's not reflecting back or anything, but it has this really nice silky, soft finish to it. So I really like that. And he says, I think it was a good idea as it has advantages, particularly the feeling as it shuffles. And it's very little glossy. I don't think it's glossy, and there's put very little indeed. I don't think it's glossy at all, but again, this is translation really. And then he said the design on the back is mine, but it's not yet final. So this design might change if this was a deck that you was interested in getting. The second deck is the standard size tarot, pure paper, 350 GSM. It has been designed by Arma 2 as a vintage edition. Also, the back of the cards are different from the previous deck. So I didn't even, oh, I think it means previous deck as in the difference to this one. Yeah, so this one is actually, you could use this as a, if you read reversals as well, whereas you wouldn't be able to do that unless that design changes. Yeah, so that's the information about the spec of the cards. I mean, we all know what an RWS looks like, so I'm not going to, you know, talk through the images or anything like that, but there has been changes to the coloration. So you can see here, there's a darker skin tone. I thought I was picking up 2 cards then because this is just really, really nice. They're using Pixies font, and it's very clean. So I don't know if you can see here, but the line work, I'm trying to make sure we don't have shadows being cast. The line work is very crisp and clean. Do you see we've got some kind of shading here on the gown, but it's nice and clean. Really, I'm impressed. I like the size of these. Really like the size of these, and it's lovely to have these really nice thick crocheted pouches to keep them in as well, because I would struggle to find a pouch or a what was it, a tin or something like that to fit them. Again, pouches are going to be available on the Arma shop as well. I'll hermit. That's nice. Nice colours. So I'm just going to show the majors. I like that. I like the tone of the sky behind. Kind of reminds me a little bit of when we had the Neo Rider decks and the one that was on the matte cardstock with the nice colours. It's got that sort of feel to it. Beautiful. Yeah, really nice. I'll just show a few. I did notice a few times there's these 2 little dots. I'm not quite sure. I noticed it in a couple of cards. Don't know if that's a printing error, like there. They do appear. I'll have to ask him about that. But these colours are really nice. And again, these aren't the finished product. And even if you use the link below, then the shop isn't active yet. But he said in the next day or 2, it will be. So it depends when you're watching this back. But at the moment, it's Monday the 9th of January. Oh, beautiful. So they're not massive changes, which if you are an RWS fan, that will probably please you. But there are some lovely rich colours in here, and the line work has been cleaned up significantly, as you can see. So that's gorgeous. And then we have the vintage version, which is in a standard tarot size. So this is, you know, a US Games and PC playing type. I mean, everybody loves a vintage RWS, don't they? does seem very, very popular to have them in this vintage format. So we've got this kind of dark brown edged and the beautiful backs, almost like caramel. So, and it's always really exciting actually when somebody in the community who you've communicated with probably a couple of years, I would say, it must be going on for a couple of years now, when they take the plunge and decide, you know, to create, it's always lovely. And, you know, particularly as I'm a huge fan of the RWS anyway, for me, it doesn't matter how many iterations are out there. You know, there's something for everybody, because, you know, when I first came into this community, there wasn't a lot of choice for RWS, and a lot of people were like, I just don't like the artwork, or I don't like the colours. And there's so many variations now, and there's just something for everyone. So there you have it, both versions. I love the vintage one, but for the cardstock and colours and the size, this one is really singing to me. So I'm going to be working with this, and yes, it does. I'm an overhand shuffler, but it shuffles beautifully. So that's great. And Angelo, thank you for the little gifts as well. When I opened this one first, I didn't notice there was a little quartz crystal there as well. I saw the little stone there, the heart, but yeah, so I'm going to hang them up around my sacred space. All right, everybody. So do check out Arma.cards if you're interested in these. They will be going up once they've adjusted things and you know, sorted out the designs that they're happy with for the backs. They'll go up over the next few days. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, go in peace, namaste, and blessed be.